caused me grief on one hand. And my dad always said to me, if you've got nothing good to say about anybody, don't say nothing. So let's not talk about the Beastie Boys.
Okay, I'm going to make the choice for you. It seems to me that Queen and Freddie Mercury were the ones that you found easiest to photograph in some sense. He was just the ultimate frontman. You filmed them, I think, at Nebworth very early in your career. What was that like?
Well, I was very green, and I was flabbergasted that I got the gig, and I shot them at what turned out to be their final ever concert, but we didn't know that at the time. And it was a surreal day in so many ways. Number one, I've never seen 250,000 people in a field before, and the band provided me a helicopter to do aerial shots. And at that point, I'd never been in a helicopter, and certainly not with a camera. The very experienced Pommy pilot complained I hadn't been in the helicopter by about 4 in the afternoon. So I arrived and he went, oh, you're the Aussie guy. And of course, he's confused by my accent, which confuses many people. And he said, oh, I've had some idiots in the helicopter. They have no idea about shooting at 125th of a second. So I immediately sort of went, oh, yeah, what idiots? And immediately changed the camera to 125th of a second. And I was just happy being in a helicopter. The experience of going up a helicopter, I could have gone up and down all day. And then Freddie Mercury walking on stage in front of 250,000 and had them in the palm of his hand from the opening bars of the song. And you got to remember Queen, the three guys behind him are going to deliver nothing to the audience. I mean, great musicians, but it's Mr. Charisma, Freddie Mercury, and he was fantastic. Anyway, post-gig, I was invited to the after-show party, which was held at the Kensington High Gardens, a very posh hotel in middle London. And I've been told, under no circumstances, take your camera. And I got in the lift, and there was 2 stark naked models in the lift escorting you up. And when I say stark naked, I'm talking stark naked. I would have been happy just to go up and down the lift all day. I was more than happy. Ended up in the room at the party, and this is the light version of how that party went. First of all, I'm partial to a glass of wine. I go to the bar and ask for a glass of Sauvignon Blanc, and I get a bottle of 1950s French Sauvignon Blanc, very nice. The girl who stood next to me got a bottle of vodka and a pitcher of orange juice. They're not messing about with glasses there. Every second person in the room was famous. Elvis Costello, Bob Geldof, the girl who reads the news, a soap star, and the band. And within 2 hours, what I'm witnessing can only be described as a debauched Roman orgy. Seeing men with men, women with women, and there's dwarfs wandering around the room who are stopped every now and again by people, and people are bending over. And I realise they've got plates on their head, and substances are being given to the audience.
I'm getting the picture, I think.
What we got is complete debauchery. I don't know a single person in the room.
And you don't have your camera?
I don't have my camera, for obvious reasons. And I just need one friend that I can go up to and go, can you believe what we're witnessing? But I didn't know anybody. And I always remember an unbelievably attractive model type girl came up and said, oh, what do you do? And I said, oh, I'm just a photographer from Australia. She immediately just disappeared. I was a nobody. I was thinking, rock and roll. Bullshit. I must try and remember that for the future. But then at the end of the room, big ballroom, so there's this debauched party going on. Freddie Mercury is on stage with Samantha Fox, who was a page 3 girl at the time. Her breasts are out and he's just playing on the, I don't know what he's playing, but he's on stage and he's the centre of attention. But at the end of the room, when you looked into a side room, there's Queen and all their family members having what can only be described as an afternoon tea party with all the children and the latest toys there, and with Freddie's mother there going, oh, wasn't Freddie wonderful on stage this afternoon? And so as you stood at this doorway, stage right, Roman debauchery, stage left, English tea party, very surreal. I read in the paper 2 days later that they spent £180,000 on the party, and I thought, oh my God, this is rock and roll, this is what it's going to be like. I've never been to a party even remotely as debauched as that one. God love Queen. And it should be pointed out, Queen were, without a doubt, one of the great bands of our generation. Freddie Mercury was irreplaceable. Why they keep going on with other people, I've no idea.